Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Schmidt Lavelle. My name is Tom Lavelle, and as always, I'm accompanied by Mr. Timothy Schmidt. On this week's episode, we got a lot of things to cover. We're going to touch on the comments from the past week. A lot of comments, and they've been growing week by week, so we appreciate that. The Phillies, their firework game and drone show. If you haven't checked those out, we'll be covering that. Some etiquette about sneezing, etiquette about group texting. Blackstone Grill, me not being cool, two-way streets. And we're very excited to talk about Timmy's favorite major, the British Open. Tim, how was your weekend? How are you doing, buddy? It's good to see you.
It was a good weekend. You know what sucked is the rain on Sunday, but I mean, I had a great pool day with the kids on Saturday.
I loved that video. We'll be talking about that in our next show, Jabroni Drive. But all those finishing moves and having fun with the kids, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, the kids they really enjoy getting tossed around in the pool there, Tom. They call it the throw me to the moon stage, where they think I can toss them literally to the moon in the pool, and it serves as quite the excitement in the pool it's like a high dive almost as I throw them up in the air. So
yeah, that choke slam, you definitely got some air on that choke slam.
I did.
I was like, whoa, because we had a little comment up there that said, when you grow up in the Attitude Era on the video clip, and her head goes up into that comment. I was like, oh man, got some air on that bad boy. All right, so as always, we want to thank you all for listening and liking and subscribing. We really appreciate, and we seem to be growing every week, as we mentioned in the intro there. More comments, shares, likes, and views. Each week it seems to be going up and up and up, and that's a good thing to be trending up. We appreciate all that. Thousands of views on our clips and our show this past week. Literally thousands of views. I can't even add them all up. And the comments are getting more and more and more, and the likes too. So thank you very much. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed to us on either YouTube or Spotify or the TikTok or Instagram or Twitter or anywhere that you listen to this podcast, please do us a favor and subscribe now or follow now, because that helps us know that, hey, you're out there and you care as much as we care about you. Right, Tim?
Well, yeah. And Tom, just to be safe, double check and make sure that you actually have subscribed or followed, since, I mean, I checked today and I'm on the show and I apparently have not followed the show since we've started. So you've got a new follower in me, Tom, today.
Yes. Another one. See, if Tim can subscribe to his own show, then you can certainly subscribe to our show, Schmidt Lavelle, Jabroni Drive. And like we said, we appreciate you doing that. All right. So a lot of comments, as we mentioned. Let's get to them, Tim. First off, we got a comment from one of our favorite regular listeners, Mr. Stiff Huxtable. He says, in regards to our show, Novocaine for the show. By the way, did you like that title, Novocaine for the show?
It was solid. It was a good
thing. Kind of a play on like Novocaine for the soul. Did you get that?
Yeah, I'm glad that we're not trying to figure it out at the end of the show, because my creative juices are kind of done at the end. So
we've kind of abandoned that. Maybe we'll come back to it someday. All right, so Mr. Stiff says, Red Schmidt is a gamer. As in regards to you being able to go fight through your moment there, And he also says, and I am not putting together a gift. And they want to use my cooler. Shit.
Yeah.
That's the best I can say how he said it, I think. Shit.
I think he's trying to quote, if you ever seen the show on HBO, what was the show? The Baltimore show.
The Wire.
The Wire. The mayor, or the black mayor, in that he used to do a she, and it's like a great meme, and it's like it's a constant gift.
All right. Well, Hey, he's stiff. Let us know if that's correct, if Timmy's on board. All right. So let's get to some other comments. This is from our video about Timmy throwing his Aunt Anita and Uncle Fran out of his house at his child's 1-year-old birthday party. From All City Schmitty, 100% true story. Just ask Anita and Fran. From Carolyn Reedy, Aunt Anita is on hold trying to call in right now. From Harry Downey, what a jerk. Tim, I mean, shame on you for throwing your Aunt Anita and Uncle Fran out of the party. I mean, the fact that it had to get physical and you put your hands on your uncle and aunt to get them out of your house they were just trying to celebrate your daughter's 1-year-old birthday party. I just think that was uncalled for. I hope you've called and apologized.
Listen, Tom, rules are rules. All right.
They were supposed to be there at 2:30.
If there are no rules, all is chaos.
All is chaos. Seems to be a common theme on the show. All right. Now, another popular video that came out was me, the dill guy. The dill guy. A lot of comments on this. A lot of people messaging me, telling me, laughing, you're the dill guy. From 311 Phillies. He says to me, all these years, I just never knew how to tell you weren't cool. So apparently I haven't been cool for quite some time. From
why
Kev,
don't you, Tom,
what?
Tom, real quick, why don't you kind of recap on what this dill pickle thing, we'll tell the people what we're talking about here. I know we posted on our story here, but
on the gram. Oh yeah, that they're just listening to the show. They might not know. So this past weekend, I was invited to a barbecue, and we brought over the fam, and I asked them, "Hey, what can I bring to the barbecue?" And they said, "Oh, whatever you feel like bringing." I said, "I make this potato salad that people seem to like. I will bring it over." Well, the potato salad is it's a recipe that I picked up online and kind of tweaked a little. It's very herby. There's cilantro in it, there's parsley in it, and there's a good amount of dill. And especially in the summertime, Tim, I enjoy dill on food. I haven't realized that I like dill, which is kind of the line that I seem to be using at the party. So I tell people in this video, this little short that we put up on Instagram, that it somehow turned into me becoming the spokesperson for dill. I'm at the party, and all I seemed to be able to talk about was dill and how much I like dill and how I need to use it more and how it seems like I've totally missed this herb that should be in more stuff. I was quoting Bobby Flay saying, Bobby Flay says, dill is the forgotten herb, which is true because I certainly had forgotten about it or just not known about it, maybe ignorant to it. But Tim, as the party was going on, I kind of realized, why the fuck am I talking about dill so much?
I am like right now I'm thinking to myself, why the fuck are you still talking about dill? But hey, I mean, this is a topic that's been commented on mostly by a lot of our listeners and our followers, and they want to know. They want to know why you continue to talk about dill. And they also
Dare I
want to
say
know,
they want to know what's the dill with that?
yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad.
I did appreciate your comment that I was in quite the pickle.
You are.
Yes.
Yeah, you can't be the dill guy. It's just a tough spot to be in. If you want to choose to put your flag on that mountain and ride out the dill, if you will.
Yes. At the bar,
Quite the thrill.
At the bar, they have nicknamed me for the week, it seems, to be Dr. Dill instead of Dr. Phil. They said, all right, Dr. Dill.
Yeah, so at this point, you figured out that you are not cool. You've probably never
Correct.
been cool.
No, I haven't. Apparently not. My friend from 9 years old tells me I've never been cool, so.
It's taking you quite some time to figure that out. And look, a lot of us aren't cool, Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been down this road before. We feel like social status is always on the top of everyone's mind. We want to fit in with certain groups, certain people. And at this point in time, I think we're 40-year-old men, Tom. And that day is come and gone. And we're just people, just with no identification. We're just going about life, just trying to figure out good spots and bad spots to get out of. That's it.
That's right. I had a saying when I was younger, and I guess this would I said at one point I realized that sometimes being cool is not cool, and being not cool is cool.
I flip you for
I
real.
flip you for real. Flip you. What the fuck? Give me the fucking keys, you fucking cocksucker. If you don't know what we're referencing, that is the usual suspects. So, last comment on that, and maybe this will tie it all together, is from Mr. Eric Tangrady. Minor setback for a major comeback. What do you think about that, Tim?
Well, I don't know what he's referencing. I mean, does that mean that you're going to come back with like some sort of like you go to the next barbecue and you just become like some sort of like
Cilantro salesman?
No, maybe you choose protein. Maybe you go, hey, I'm a filet guy now.
Well, I did just buy a Blackstone Grill, Tim, and I guess that's a good segue because last night my wife came outside and decided to film me seasoning this grill, and I'll tell you what, I didn't look too cool doing that either.
These Blackstone Grills have been something of a wave here.
They're popular. They're hot right now. No pun intended.
Hot. Yeah. Look, I'm getting started on my new grill myself, but I mean, I've just really kind of dove into the grilling like life, right? I'm cooking chicken, steaks, everything like that. It's taken me a while to get onto the grill. I've always been in the kitchen, in the pan, like in the oven type cook.
Yeah.
And now, and like I've always had an apartment, so I never really had like the grill option, right?
Right.
Being back in my dad's house for the last 2 years now, I have access to a grill and I'm firing shit up left and right. And a couple of my buddies have this Blackstone grill, and I'm like, I'm not sure if I can graduate to that yet until I master the actual grill. Do you get what I'm saying?
I do understand what you're saying. You know what, Tim? And I will say this to kind of review the Blackstone Grill so far. You got to do a little research. You kind of have to know what you're doing. There's something. First of all, I bought the grill and it was delivered. I had to put it together. Okay, and so I put it together.
Good thing you didn't. You didn't give it to a 1-year-old for a gift.
Yeah. Oh man. But so I put it together, and you know what? When I was done, Tim, there was a sense of, it took me 2 hours to put this thing together roughly. And it's a big ass grill. And so, you got the propane line and all that other stuff. But either way, it comes with a big flat top, a griddle, right? That's heavy. And what you have to do is you have to season it. And by season it, that doesn't mean like seasoning. It means like you have to make it like non-stick basically. And so by doing that,
oil, right?
Yeah, you turn it up as high as you can and you put the oil on it and you rub it in on like a thin layer and then you burn that oil off. And what's called polyamerization.
Try again.
Polyamerization.
Amortization. I don't know. I just didn't sound right the first 3 times. So.
Yeah, so it's a weird word, Tim. You're better with words than me, and I don't know if that can be our word of the day. But polyamerization is what I'm going to call it.
That sounds a lot better.
Yeah, I said it with a little more confidence there, and that's basically getting that sheen on the grill and that nonstick, what's called seasoning. So I did do that 4 or 5 times, and if you want to check it out on our Instagram right now, it's there, me running around this grill, smoke's going everywhere. I almost fall over. I kind of burned my hand, but I think I got it done. And that's what I'm saying. It's been a couple days. Like usually you buy a grill, you turn it on, it's ready to go. This, you got to put a little work into it.
Did you not cook any food on it that day?
Didn't cook any food on it because, dude, it took me a couple hours to do that. And I'm trying to run in and out watching Monday Night Raw.
I got to say, my one buddy, he used to work at D'Alessandro's Steaks, which is one of the more popular cheesesteak places in all of Philadelphia. It's ranked now in the, I think, top 5. It's always, every time the list comes out, who's your favorite cheesesteak? It's top 5. Anyway, he used to work in D'Alessandro's and basically worked on a flat grill, right? Like cooking the
Right.
cheesesteaks. And he's the first person that I've known that has had this Blackstone grill, and he is a master on it. He
Yeah.
makes smash burgers and like,
Ugh.
dude, like when he was at D'Alessandro's, I mean, he would cook. Yeah, he was a line cook, and he would. You walk into D'Alessandro's, they have that stacks of meat, right? Like
Yeah,
cheesesteaks
right.
stacked all the way up, and um, he cooks cheesesteaks and he cooks smash burgers. He cooks everything on this
You can
Flatstone.
do breakfast, you can do
Yeah,
everything. Yeah.
yeah, and it's incredible. And shout out to Sean Sutcliffe. You know what? Maybe we'll get him on here and we'll do a little Blackstone, maybe like a little recipe, maybe a little demonstration for the people.
You
I
know
don't
what I would
know.
love, Tim? I would love maybe you and Mr. Sutcliffe come over, right? We'll put the grill on and he gives me a little hand here. We wouldn't know how
Put
to
a little
do this.
video together.
We'll
Yeah.
get some maybe we'll get some big guns, our sponsor, we'll say, "Hey,
Uh, hey,
big guns on the on maybe another sponsor to come, Blackstone Grill." But yeah, I'm excited for it. I got some plans for this weekend for it. I want to do some real cheesesteaks on the Blackstone. I'm talking to Cooper Sharp, talking some fried onions. I know you're not a big fried onion guy, and some
mm,
shaved ribeye that I'm going to get from Venezia's Butcher up in East Norton. So
a lot of
that's
people love Venezia. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, he's well known.
And I'm thinking that in a Sarcone's roll, and I like, well, where can I go wrong? Right.
Mm-mm,
So
mm-mm.
that's the Blackstone Grill. So hopefully we can have a video coming to you from that. I'm excited about that. Timmy, I know you'd like a cheesesteak from Mr. Sutcliffe. All right. So this past weekend, me and the family, and something that I'm trying to make a family tradition, every year I'd like to do this. My kids are getting a little bit older. My son will be 6 this year. And it's hard. Like, I want to make this thing a family tradition, and that is the Phillies fireworks game. Tim, have you ever been to a Phillies fireworks game?
Um, have I? I probably have in the past. Yeah, I've probably been there once or twice. You know what? I've actually found myself at Phillies concert. At the end of the game, the concert happens, and then there's fireworks afterwards. So yeah,
Oh, okay.
I've been to one.
Well, the fireworks game, if you haven't been to it, I would say definitely at least once go check it out. The whole thing is basically a finale. It's like fireworks like crazy. And Tim, I got to see something that I've never seen before this week, and that is a drone show. Have you ever seen a drone show?
I did. I actually saw a drone show. For the Eagles, my girlfriend took me out to a late dinner, and they did the drone show above the art museum for the Eagles when they were in the Super Bowl, like the whole thing. It was awesome. It was the day before the Super Bowl. I don't know, you probably saw videos of that, but yeah, I
Yeah.
saw that. Yeah, it was really cool.
Dude, how cool is it? It's awesome. Like, I was shocked. All of a sudden these things start floating up, and then they're starting to make all these different figures. They tied
Yep.
it in
Hmm.
with like Philadelphia music. They were playing all the old clips from when they won it in 1980, when they went to the World Series in 93, when they
Yeah.
won in '08 last year. And then they showed like all this drone, and Bryce Harper's running around and he's doing this with the Phillies, and they have the Bedlam at the bank call. Like, dude, it was awesome. So if you haven't gone and checked it out, now, one thing about the drone show, Tim, kind of scary what they can do with these drones.
I
Like,
was just I was just about to say, have you ever seen the enemy at the state? Yeah, these I was gonna say like these drones then after they were done doing their nice little light show, they flew in everyone's house and took over all their electronic devices and people started losing their shit. It's scary, dude. It is scary. It's like I mean the technology in itself is just unparalleled. And then you're like, all right, well, if they can do this shit, what else can they do? You know,
yeah,
like the possibilities are endless.
yeah. I mean, and they've like, I guess there's been some serious debate about drone strikes and stuff like that. And I'm just like, I'm watching these drones, how like in synchronized they are, and everything that they're doing and moving around, and the pinpoint accuracy of everything. And I'm like, holy shit, like, this is cool, but like, this is also like something like I don't know if I really like this. Like I feel like this could be taking over. Like it's already taking over. I feel like this is something that's gonna get, like.
Yeah, you got to kind of keep an eye on it. You're like, I'm not
I mean, I
sure if
think we're
I'm.
already screwed. What are we gonna do?
Yeah, no, I mean, there's been a push on all this AI stuff recently, and yeah, AI taking over. I mean, the actors are on strike and the writers are on strike right now, in the film industry, and they're talking about how AI could take over their roles and writing and all this other shit. I don't know how far that is away, but I mean, it seems like there's competition now. It's crazy. It's crazy that it's come down to this, but I mean, it's a realistic thought that like this shit could really impact your life moving forward.
Well, they're saying as far as like the voice recognition, or like how, you've heard the songs where they have AI singing like a famous artist and they put different lyrics in and they sing it and it sounds just like them. And now they can do it where if they have your picture, they can mimic it and do like your FaceTiming or something like that, or
Yeah.
you're calling
Well,
someone to take over. It's like
I know
they could
Bruce
do
Willis.
anything.
Bruce Willis is like one of the first guys that has really kind of been involved with this because he's going through that medical like situation where he can't actually act anymore, and they want him to basically sign over his like rights so they can continue to use his face and likeness and everything else like in his movies moving forward. And like, wait a second, we're gonna make Die Hard 6 without Bruce Willis? But no, he's gonna be in it and it's gonna look like him. It's just you're just gonna have an actor like you, right? Kind of act out his parts, and
They'll
they're
put a
just gonna put,
filter on his face
yeah,
and
just put
oh
Bruce
my
Willis's
God.
face on your body, and it's Die Hard 6, like he's in outer space killing people. Who knows? It's gonna be crazy, but I mean that's kind of the option that they're giving these people right now. So
Well, Tim, I have something I have to tell you. This is
oh,
not really me. I am currently no.
like Scooby Doo.
Yeah. All right. So the Phillies were a half game out of the wild card spot, I believe, today. Currently a big game going on with the Brewers and the
They
Phillies.
just won.
It's over. They won.
Yeah,
All
yep.
right,
Fourth
huge
row.
win, and I think that puts us up. We would right now qualify for the postseason. Earlier in the year, when everyone was shitting on the Phillies, saying, "Watch out, what's going on?" Me and Tim told you just to take it easy, calm down. We know that we got a poor start. We're gonna figure things out. It's looking okay right now. We've been one of the hottest teams in baseball, I believe. Us, we're right behind. Like as far as the hottest teams right now, it's the Braves and us, and anything can happen. Very exciting time for the Phillies. Hopefully they can keep it rolling and make it into the playoffs. Timmy, anything you want to say? I'll tell you what though. First base, they're saying that Harper's going to be back playing first base. Hall had two horrendous errors at first base this past weekend. One on Friday, what I made an example to my son. Said, "You see what he did there? He went to tag first base before he even got the ball." And he did the same exact thing on Sunday. So
And tonight,
did he make another error tonight? Wow.
yeah,
Are
he
you are you
he's I've
go
God,
ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead.
No, I just don't look. It seems like he is pressing a little bit. Not having Reese Hoskins here when he first came up, right?
Right.
Uh, yeah, Reese Hoskins was in the fold, and he came up on a temporary basis, but now they're looking at him for the long term answer. Feels like he's pressing a little bit. I think he has 8 hits, which is not good. He's batting like 160. He's got multiple errors in the field. At this point, I don't know if you want to keep riding this guy because he's really not the answer. I mean, I know exactly what's going to happen. Right? They're talking about moving Bryce Harper to first base, which is great. He's the MVP for a reason. He should be able to handle that job, right? I don't know if he's going to be successful at it, but he's got to be better than what they're doing right now. I think they are going to look to upgrade probably the outfield and then possibly bring in somebody at first base. There's rumors about like Paul Goldschmidt, which would be
Goldschmidt?
which would be enormous. there's talk about a couple
Because he's
other
a Gold Glover
guys.
too, isn't he?
Yeah, yeah, but like here's the issue. So like if you bring in Goldschmidt, right, he goes to first base, and then you know Bryce Harper remains your DH for the rest of the year, and you got to keep Schwarber in left.
Any
So
way that Harper can go in the outfield and Schwarber DH?
I don't think that Harper is going to be ready yet. That's why they're going to move him to first because he can't make those throws yet.
Long throws.
They don't want to push him that hard. So it might be a similar situation that we had last year where, Harper just remains the DH. And hey, listen, we're lucky because he would have been down for probably almost 2 years if the DH position wasn't available.
Huh.
And thank God last year, the last 2 years, it's been available and Bryce has been able to come in and hit, and he's in a good spot now. But we'll see how it plays out. I think they're going to either upgrade outfield and probably first base because they need to. So we'll see how it plays out. I mean, I don't think Rhys Hoskins is going to be here for the rest of his career. He's going to probably find money elsewhere and sign as a free agent. So, but either way, you got to patch those holes right now, and you got to figure out what you're going to do moving forward to go into the playoffs and be the strongest team possible. So,
All right. Well, hopefully they can keep it rolling. A big win and a big series this
Aaron
week.
Nola with a big night tonight. He pitched, I think 7 innings and gave up 2 runs, like 7 or 8 strikeouts. So, I mean, he's like yin and yang right now, but we need him to be pretty solid. So,
Nice. If he can start turning it around and Wheeler, it can all. They've got the tools. They can do it. We'll see if they can put it together. All right. So, Tim, this past week, we're going to get into a little etiquette here for the people. This past week, I was working at the bar, and a gentleman was in there, and they're having a couple drinks. Next thing you know, he sneezes. Then he sneezes again. And he sneezes again and again and again. I'm telling you, this guy must have sneezed 15 times. Tim, you've got to get the fuck out of there if you're sneezing that much. Okay. I'm sorry if like a sneeze, I'm not like, I don't know if I've ever sneezed more than like 3, 4 times in a row. And I'm not saying that like, I know people go into these fits, but if you are sneezing like that, boom, 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 and not little sneezes, you gotta move. You gotta get out of there. Go to the bathroom, go outside. At some point, I was like, hey, bud, get it together. Go outside or go do something. You can't just sit here and sneeze on everybody for the next half hour. Figure it out. Am I crazy? You're a
uh,
sneezer. I can tell.
I'm a big time Caesar.
I don't
Been
mind a good sneeze. If you have 1, 2, Tim, you're on your 10th sneeze. Are you not like, Jesus, I got to walk away for a second here?
First of all, look, allergies are a motherfucker. They get you, right? And they'll sneak up on you whenever you're least expecting it, and they can creep in and they can ruin your night. It sucks. But you have to have some self-awareness in this situation, right? You gotta look, whenever I sneeze, especially out in public, I'm this guy, right? And it took me a while to learn this, but I sneeze like this. Inside, underneath, there's no spray. It just goes on me. I don't know if that's disgusting or not, but hey, look, I'm the one that's eating the germs, right? I'm not spreading them out into the world.
Wow.
Okay.
I like that move, just a
Yeah.
little.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now you go 10 sneezes in a row. That's after the third sneeze, you can usually feel when it's gonna be like an attack, right? And like, hey, you sneeze 2 or 3 times, I'm going like this. 1, 2, and if I feel like it's starting to go, and I'm dipping out, and I'm like, all right, I gotta get out of here because it's getting out of control. I need not only for yourself, right, for other people, but like
For yourself.
you need to get outside and you got to get some fresh air, right? Because there might be some miracle like gust of wind or something that'll just like fix you all of a sudden. Like, oh man, you get a clear breath and you're like, oh, I needed that, right? And you gotta be really cognizant of the people around you. You can't be sneezing on people. You can't, especially in a place where you're serving drinks or food or anything like that, right? Like you
Yeah.
can't And that shouldn't even matter either. Like, you shouldn't be sneezing on people at all. Like,
Yeah.
just like, have
Go
you ever
take
seen
a
them?
walk.
You ever seen
Just take a move.
Contagion? You ever seen Contagion?
Contagion.
Contagion, the movie.
No.
You don't want to. You ever seen Outbreak?
Outbreak. Yes. I've seen Outbreak.
Yes.
Yes.
Don't be sneezing on people, man.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go outside or go to the bathroom or do something just to say, be like, man, I'm sneezing everywhere. Excuse me. I'm just gonna. No one's gonna say, no way. Come on, it's just a sneeze. Stay here with us and sneeze all over us. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Hold
I
on.
love.
Come here. Come here. Can you come over here and spit on my face?
Yeah,
Just right here, right in my eye.
yeah.
You know what? I don't care about it.
It's a sneeze. We all do it. Yeah, just sneeze. Come on, I'll sneeze with you. Go ahead. On the count of three, let's sneeze. Achoo! Yeah, all right. Let's get another one. Who wants to sneeze? Dude, it was awful. It was like, and it was like a wet sneeze. You know what I mean? Like he was getting the drip. Like it was definitely some sort of allergy or something that just hit him, like an attack, as you called it.
Mm.
He had an attack, and he just waved the white flag and freaking let the attack come and take over. And he was sneezing all over everyone's shit, and it was disgusting.
Yeah, yeah.
If you're
You know,
sneezing that much, go out, go walk, get away. Just go sneeze 50 times outside. I don't give a fuck. Just don't do it right here where like I'm 5 feet away from you. And it's like, yo,
dude,
another
dude,
one, another
my,
one.
I will say, my brother, my grandma used to take us down to the shore, and my brother, my brother, this is when we were kids. He get the, he get the tissue and he twirl it up until like it looked like a little like jousting like straw almost, and like he'd stick it up his nose to the point where he had to sneeze. And we'd have sneezing wars on the way down to the shore. We would see sitting in the back of my grandma's car, and he'd stick this tissue up his nose, and he'd start sneezing on me, dude. It was disgusting. And I couldn't replicate it. I couldn't fight back because I couldn't do it to my nose. He just had this trigger where he would just start. He'd stick it up. He'd just,
Oh my god.
I'd be drenched. My grandma would be like, "What the hell is going on back there?"
Christopher, why are you sneezing on him?
Uh, like snot everywhere. It was terrible.
Oh my god.
And back then, it was like, dude, driving down the Wildwood took forever. It was like,
No
I
AC.
mean, no AC. Roll down the windows. His brother would be like, just dude, it'd be like a drawbridge of fucking snot hanging from.
Oh my god. Oh, that's disgusting. Dude,
He'd have
is snot the worst word in the like that is an all-time terrible word.
he'd
Oh.
have snot in one hand and like the Pringles in the other. It'd be like,
you pass the Cheetos around.
yeah.
Well, I guess these are mine now, huh? Yeah. Oh man. Well, that's what brothers are for. All right, Tim. So let's go right to some more etiquette in group texting. Tim, when you're on a group text, what, first of all, sometimes you get into these group texts that you don't necessarily want to be in. And next thing you know, you're receiving hundreds of texts and you're like, what's going on? Like my mom is the queen of starting a group text where I don't know a couple of the numbers on the group text. It could be one of her friends that she's throwing on this text. I don't know. There's an email on the text because she can't seem to text my brother-in-law. It always has his email on it, like so these group texts sometimes can get out of control. And, next thing you know, it's like you go back to your phone. Are you obligated to read all those texts or you
Well,
just like say, yeah, whatever and move on?
the worst part about it is when everyone doesn't have the same phone, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
and like if you don't have an iPhone, it's pretty obvious, right? Like you have like the green bubbles, and it's like the worst text chain ever because you can't remove yourself from it, you can't leave it. It's just unannounced text from like a random number, and it just is like bullshit that you don't even want to deal with.
If there's a
But like,
video sent, it's not in the correct like format. It's smaller.
yeah,
You can't pixel it. You can't see.
yeah. Those are just brutal. But like, if you don't want to be part of the text group, you have all the yeah. Look, you have permission to leave, right? You can leave. You have that.
America, you can
You
leave the
have
group text. I think that's like the Fifth Amendment.
yeah, and guess what? But like, you can't get back in the text line. Like, you can text, like, if you miss the text line, you can send a text to a couple of the people and say, hey man, like, yeah, I need to get back in. I kind of want to get back in the loop and like see what's going on. But like, I'll give you an example. Me and a lot of my buddies, we have a tight group net of friends here, and there's like 10 to 15 of us, and we do a lot of things together, and we put a lot of like birthday parties and events that happen, and they occur, pretty much on a regular basis, and we send out texts on the group text like, hey man, like, just to give you a heads up, my kid's birthday's this weekend, make sure you stop by, right? Stuff like that. And this individual I'm talking about left the text line, a couple months ago, because he just didn't want to deal with like text messages anymore. And
Which is
in
fine.
that,
That's his
that's fine.
choice.
Hey, enjoy
You
yourself,
leave
bud.
the
Hey,
group, you leave the text chain, that's fine. That's on you.
but the onus is now on you to stay in contact with your friends, who are very good friends, to know what's going on in the world of our whole like childhood group friends, right? Like, you got to know what's going on. You don't just get like a free pass and just go, hey, like, where is this guy at? Well, he's not on the group text, so I guess he's, well,
We'll
sorry.
never talk to him again.
So, dude, like, it's been probably 3 to 4 months since this guy's been off our text line, and we have a annual trip to a golf tournament up at my college, and I get a text on Monday from this individual, and he's like, who's not on the group text, by the way. Everyone else is on the group text. He goes, hey man, what's going on for Friday? Just want to, check in and see like, what are the foursomes and everything like that. I'm like, dude, we haven't talked about this in like 4 months. You left the group text line. You can't just text the week of and go, hey man, I'm in on that golf tournament.
All that
It
stuff you
doesn't,
guys been texting about, I'm in.
yeah, it doesn't work like that. Like, I mean, I feel bad. I feel terrible because I'd love the guy to be at the golf tournament and have a spot, but like, I mean, it
It's not on
calls
Tim, it's on him. It's not on you, it's on him. Of course
it
you'd want him
call
to be there, but
it
hey,
calls for planning. It calls for, you know you gotta pay attention. You gotta stay engaged. I know it sucks to be on group text lines, right? But my God, like, hey, be engaged. Don't
yeah.
just show up 4 days before and go, hey man, can't wait to show up. It's gonna be great. Doesn't work like that.
Right. You gotta be at least texting on the side. If you're not in the group text, you gotta say you send a side text and say, hey, I remember you mentioned that outing. I want to be in that, just FYI, and that you need at least what do you need a month to secure that spot for the outing, I'd say.
No, I mean, it's quite the outing. So I mean, it's like a 3 month process. Like, you gotta have your foursomes in, everything like that. They gotta be locked in tight,
Right.
airtight, Tom.
Airtight.
But it's not just that though. It's like, it's everything. Like, look, when I'm on a group text, there's times where I wake up and like, I've been on a lot of group texts, right? And dude, I sometimes you just can't keep up with it. And there's 75 texts throughout the night, and like, you wake up the next morning and you're like, Jesus Christ, what happened throughout the night, right? And
Yeah.
like, can you really go back and check every message? Yeah, if you have the time to do it. But like, if like, there's times where I've missed golf invites, right? Golf tee times, party invites, like, hey, come over to my house for a barbecue. Like, I miss all that stuff because I can't keep up with every single goddamn text that comes to the group text.
Yeah, right.
But that's on me. It's not on everyone else. Like, you put it out there. I get it. Like, if I really need to go back and look through it, then I will. Right.
Yeah, right.
It's just that, the onus falls on me if I miss out on that stuff. But like, you just got, I think, in the end game here, Tom, is I think you have to just stay on the text line just to see what's what. Like,
Yeah.
hey, you can mute it. You can just mute it and check it periodically and say, hey, oh shit, there's a birthday party, or there's a golf outing, or there's this that I might want to go to. But you have to stay engaged, Tom. You have to stay
You gotta
engaged.
stay engaged.
That's my rant.
Hey, I'm with you. If you're in it, you can get through the group text to be able to get to all the good stuff. All right. So, Timmy, a big week, a big week for us, a big week for golf fans out there. First of all, this is one of the four majors. Some people say the fifth major is at PGA, the Players Championship. This is the Open Championship, aka the British Open. So, the Open Championship this year is taking place at Royal Liverpool Golf Course. The last time it was here was in 2014, and the winner was
Rory McIlroy.
Mr. Rory McIlroy, who happened to win last week at the Scottish Open. So he's one of the favorites to win it. Now, Tim, this course has only 29 feet of elevation change across 140 acres on site, yet none of the ground is level. Pretty interesting fact. This year's the players face a tougher course layout with additional bunkering, harsher runoffs, and new tees. The last two holes are a short par 4 played into a prevailing headwind and a long but very reachable downwind par 5. That means anything is possible and nothing is settled until the end. Timmy, what are your thoughts on the Open Championship, the British Open?
Well, don't call it the British Open.
It's the Open Championship, but
Yeah.
so people know what I'm talking about, because some people will think, wait, is he talking about the U.S. Open? No, that's
Yes.
the U.S. Open.
No,
This is the Open Championship.
all the locals, and this is the 151st Open Championship. So this is the longest running major championship in golf. So the locals in Scotland and England, and they consider, that's like the birthplace of golf. So they take homage. They just say, hey, listen, this is our championship. It's the longest running one. We're the birthplace of golf. You're not calling it the British Open. It's not the British Open because it happens in Scotland too. Anyway,
It's the Open Championship.
Correct.
The one.
Correct. It is by far my favorite tournament to watch on television. There's a couple reasons why. Number one is because it is link style golf. Number one. Number two, it's the weather conditions over in that area is just unpredictable. So you could get a beautiful day on Thursday where conditions are prime, and then the next day it could be 75-mile-an-hour winds and the ball is rolling off the green when they're trying to putt. It's so theatrical. It's incredible. You've seen some great moments. You've seen one of the worst moments in golf history where Jean Van de Velde blew a 3-shot lead, I believe, on 18 and lost in a playoff at St. Andrews. Like, it's just anything can happen, and it's great theater. It's some of the best golf you'll see. A lot of Europeans are usually favored in this tournament, but Americans have won it time and time again. And the reason why I love it so much is because it's covered from the first shot of the tournament to the last shot of the tournament, and the R&A, which is the governing body of the Open Championship, allows it to be that. Like, they give the rights up for broadcasting, and they want this tournament shown from start to finish. And every day you're able to see the first shot to the last shot from Thursday to Sunday. If you really are into golf and you're a golf enthusiast, this is the tournament for you. You can, and the only thing that sucks about it is that it starts at 1:30 in the morning because it's over in Scotland and England usually. So you have to wake up super early, but I mean, it's not a bad deal, dude. If you want to wake up at 1:30 or you want to set your alarm, you go to bed early, you wake up the next morning, you watch golf from 1:30 in the morning till 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I love it. And Tim, I will say this. I don't think for television that the link style golf course is maybe portrayed as like, you know, the other tournaments like Augusta is such a beautiful course. You can see it on the TV. You're like, wow, how amazing is this course? And you don't really think that when you see these link style golf courses, at least the casual fan. But when you play a link styles golf course, I find it so awesome because you can see everyone out on the course. Like I think it looks so cool when you're out there and like someone like 6 holes over, you like you see what everyone is doing as you're playing. And like that as someone that plays like I or used to play. No shots fired, honey.
You don't play it. Yeah.
Yeah, someone that used to play. I would love playing a link style course because just the openness, like we said, it has 29 feet of elevation change throughout the entire course. So you can look across and see as far as the eye can see golfers playing on a hole at a thing. Like that would be so cool for like an outing. You know what I mean? Because you can
Sure.
see your boys everywhere, like doing what's going on and stuff like that. So I don't think I guess the appeal of a link styles golf course is portrayed as well throughout like the through on television. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
another thing too is we're both kind at least I know I am and I think you are. We're both kind of like history guys, and this is the history of golf. Like these courses, I mean, they're talking about like at this course they talk about when the Beatles were here at this course, like playing when they were kids because it's in Liverpool, and then you have the where golf started over there, and like just like every time like St. Andrews and like Royal Liverpool Golf Course, and just all the courses over there are just so storied and so historical, and so many incredible players throughout like the history of golf have played there that that's what makes it such an appealing
It's
tournament to
it's
me.
it's really cool. They do something with their production during the telecast where they have these little we talk about wrestling a lot. They have these little vignettes, right? And they're usually like shots of the wind blowing the flag right along the coast, and it's like a Nick Faldo or an old Englishman like talking about the golf course, but like referring to the golf course as her, like
Yeah.
uh, she's rough around the edges, and like it's like really it's they put a lot of
Her
theater
holes
into.
are deep and
Yeah.
she's
Oh.
been walked all over by many a man, and you wouldn't believe how many people have inserted their teas in her.
Many of birdies have been in those holes. Uh,
Oh my god. You don't want to go to that hole. That hole will make you sick.
that was
Stay
terrible.
away from hole number 2. Okay,
Yeah,
I got it. I'm sorry. That's gone too far. Gone too far.
but no, I mean we just took the history out of it. So
way to just defecate all over the
yeah.
Open Championship. Sorry about that. Timmy, I think you were saying something. What were you saying?
No. It's I mean that's it. It's my favorite tournament, and unfortunately I won't be able to see it all on hold because I'll be traveling this entire weekend. I'll be up at my old college on Friday, and then I'm heading to Cleveland for the Phillies Guardian series. As much as I pains me to say Guardians, but the Cleveland Indians, as people like to say.
Oh,
Uh,
how dare you? You
So
bigot.
so I'll catch it probably in the morning because it's going to be on early. But I'm hoping to see some good golf this weekend and looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Tim, before we end the talking on the Open Championship, do you have a pick? Do you have a front runner that you're going with?
So Rory has been on fire. I mean, he's fit, and I also want to say too, this tournament is going to be so well received just because of what had happened at the LA Country Club at the US Open, the US Open, because there was no fans there. This place is going to be packed. It shows out all the time. It's just going to be a great venue for what they need to finish out the major championship season. But Rory McIlroy had just won this last tournament, the
The
Scottish
Scottish.
Open.
Yep.
He lit it up. He birdied the last two holes. He's been on fire. He goes in with confidence through the roof. My pick though for this tournament is going to be Victor Hovland. I think Victor Hovland comes out of it's not like he hasn't won anything. He won at Memorial. He's been playing great golf. I just think that there needs to be somebody else that joins these top 4 or 5 golfers, and I think Victor Hovland is the guy to do it. Like Scotty Scheffler's got majors now. Rory's got majors. I don't think Ricky Fowler's fully back yet. He's won a tournament, but I just don't think he's ready yet. I think Victor Hovland is that guy that's going to step into the John Rahm, Rory McIlroy, Scotty Scheffler, Jordan Spieth kind of
Brooks
like,
Koepka.
yeah, upper echelon type golfers here. And I think he needs a major to win it. And, Colin Morikawa, all those guys. It'll be nice to see him join the fold, and I think he wins it this year.
All right. I'm gonna go with someone that you just mentioned. I think this is Jordan Spieth. He's gonna win this tournament. I feel like he's due to win a tournament. I know he's coming off an injury, and I feel like he's coming back and feeling better. And I feel like he's gonna show out at the Open Championship.
I think that's
Uh,
a terrible pick.
yeah, it is. But you know what? I read something maybe a year ago that Jordan Spieth would win a major this year, and I'm going to stick with it. So, Timmy, our last topic, something that we want to talk about. And, on this show, we're yin and yang. We are, we're a team here. I
Mm-hmm.
would say that this is a two-way street with me and you. Now,
It
Tim,
is.
sometimes two-way streets can be a little difficult, especially a one-lane two-way street in the city of Philadelphia.
Just a short rant. That's all I want.
Let's
Just a
hear it.
short, I don't
The
get
floor
it.
is yours.
I just don't get it. Why? So look, I will be honest. My street, and this is totally selfish on my part, but my street is 2 ways. Okay, Larson Street, right off of Roxbury Avenue. There's a bar on the corner. Is a 2-way street. For God knows what reason, it's a 1-lane street. It's maybe 250 yards long. Why the hell is this street 2 ways? There's not another. There's one other street, Freeland, which is 2 ways. I don't get it. Why do you have a street with a bar on the corner? It's nonstop traffic. It's up and down. There's only 2 driveways on the whole street where you can pull over and actually let the guy pass. Like it makes no sense. Like
Right.
who in the right mind? And that goes for every other street that's like that in any neighborhood. Like, why would you have a 1-lane street go 2 ways? Does it make any sense? Can you tell me a logical reason why it would?
Especially with a higher volume of traffic. Like it could be one thing if like I feel like over kind of closer to like Markle Street, that's one lane, two-way, but there's some more areas to kind of maneuver in and out of.
And
And
Markle runs for about a half a mile to it goes from almost Manioc Avenue all the way to Ridge, right? Like it makes no sense whatsoever. Dude, Churchview going down to St. John the Baptist, right? Is two ways. There's now cars parked on both sides of Churchview, which is like a giant hill. And you don't even, it's a total like curve all the way up. You can't even tell if a car's coming down. That's a head-on collision waiting to happen. And I'm not trying to be like the Department of Transportation here, but like Jesus Christ, like what are we going? What are we doing here?
Yeah.
Like
Put a do not enter on one side and a one way on the other. That's it.
that's it. That's all. That's all. I just traffic patterns and like look, it looks like they're starting to clean up things up your way, Tom. And I seen that they're starting to widen the lanes up there. I know they're excited about what's going on, heading into the Plymouth meeting and up in the Lafayette Hill. And I see some lights right at Barron Hill. I don't know what that's going to do.
Yeah.
That looks
Nothing.
I don't
Slow
know.
things down, you know?
Yeah. But it's like this whole traffic thing drives me nuts. I don't know who the hell was in charge, but I need to talk to him. I need to have a conversation with him, and we need to sit down. And we got to figure it out together.
Yeah. You know what? Next week on Schmidt Lavelle, the head of the Department of Transportation, we're calling you out.
Lincoln Turd.
Yeah. Lincoln Turd. What's that a reference to? Is that something? Am I missing it, Tim?
Nah, I just made that up.
Oh, I love it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm loving it. All right. So, Timmy, that's going to do it for us here tonight on Schmidt Lavelle. Another amazing episode. Probably the best one we have had yet. And we want to say to everyone out there that's listening, that's still listening, we appreciate you listening and following and subscribing. And hey, when you're out there, tell people about the hottest growing new show in all of Philadelphia. Schmidt Lavelle, or just on the outside of Philadelphia. I don't want to be that guy, But Schmidt Lavelle, available on all podcast platforms and YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, anywhere you can, please. And spread the word. People have been loving what we're doing, and we're going to keep on doing what we're doing. Timmy, anything you'd like to say to all the Schmidt Lavelleites out there?
No. Oh, here's to Richie. Hole in one. Well done, sir.
Hole in one. Congrats. Till next week.